What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fresh, brand new episode of Murph's Boston Sports Talk. I am your host, James Murphy, aka Murph, and thank you so much for joining me for episode number 105. We are cruising past 100 now, and, listen, it's still mind-boggling to just be at, 100 episodes, right? Obviously, we're a few episodes past that now, but it's just still weird and, humbling to just be at, over 100 episodes, starting at, episode 0, episode 1, 20, 40. You just never really expect it. So I'm a little corny about it. Just bear with me, please. But hopefully, you had a wonderful weekend this past weekend. Weather was chilly. It was cold. But listen, we have a lot to talk about. A ton to talk about in regards to the New England Patriots. Like, I really want to sit down and dive deep about this New England Patriots team because I don't want to get ahead of myself because, I want to save it for a little bit later in the episode. This team is turning out to be a sneaky underdog. Now, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here in terms of what I want to talk about today or just in the season in general. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But look at what this team is doing, or look at what this team has done recently, and just kind of figure out where I may be coming from, all right? Because this team has a ton of potential. They have proven it. They are winning. But like I said, I don't want to spoil it. I do want to talk about Red Sox. Before we do start with the Patriots stuff, quick little Red Sox segment. I told you at the end of the season, the beginning of the off season, that we will be talking Red Sox stuff as it comes in and as the news pops up. And unfortunately, well, for some people, unfortunately, others, I'm sure they're rejoicing. Left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez, who was earlier last week offered the qualifying offer, 1 year, $18.4 million or whatever it is, from the Red Sox, with reports that Chaim Bloom is working with Rodriguez on a deal that will keep him in Boston longer than just the 1 year qualifying offer. Well, news broke this morning when I freshly woke up. I was able to read on my phone. Left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez agrees to a 5-year, $77 million deal with the Detroit Tigers. Now, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, it sucks. Losing Erod. I loved Erod. You guys know how I felt about him. But I honestly believe that the Tigers got a really good pitcher at a good price. I mean, if you take... Simple math here, 77 divided by 5 is $15.4 million. Now, how is that contract, how are the numbers going to fall? Is it front-loaded? Is it equal? Is it back-loaded? I don't know. I don't care. It's average $15.4 million a year. Boom, plain and simple. Now, Erod was hit or miss this past year in 2021. But let's not forget that he was coming off of a coronavirus-related myocarditis, I can't say it, a condition with the heart that he suffered from testing positive for COVID. Missed all of 2021. Missed all of 2020. Bounced back in 2021. 13-8 record with a 4.74 ERA. Yeah, not the best. Not the best. But in Erod's 7 seasons in Boston, he went 64-39 with a 4.16 ERA. Not bad. Not bad at all. One thing I do like about Erod going to Detroit is because Detroit has a good young core of pitching, starting pitching. Tariq Skubal, Casey Mize, Matt Manning. And this Detroit Tigers team finished 77-85 this past year. Yeah, 16 games out of first place in the American League Central. Don't care. But if you look at, let's look at 2019, the last full regular season before 2021. Tigers were 47-114. Okay. Let's look at 2018. 64 and 98 didn't finish all much better. And 2017, just for fun, 64 and 98, you get the picture, right? I couldn't tell you the last season that they were good. The only one I can think of is 2013, but they've had to have been better before then. Sports data is temporarily okay. They don't have 2014. Do they have 2015? They do, and they were 74 and 87, and they finished in last place. Anyways, let's speed up here to 2021. 77 and 85. They're clearly building on something. They have a good young pool of prospects coming up in the farm system. Obviously, after years of being dog shit, you have a great young starting rotation core of Scooble, Mize, and Manning. Then you throw in a veteran in Erod, who just 2 seasons ago in 2019 finished 6th in the American League Cy Young voting. 19-6 record, 3.81 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, and 34 starts. When Erod is healthy, he will go out on the mound every 5 days. He will. He'll get you double-digit wins. He'll keep you in ball games, upper 3s, low 4 ERA. Nothing fantastic, but he's reliable. He's dependable. Yeah, he's going to have his shaky starts, but he's also going to have his gems as well. And I think this is a great fit for the Tigers. Someone with a ton of experience. Someone who is, I don't want to say he's young, but he's relatively younger. So the next 5 years, the contract will be up. I think he'll be like 34 maybe. I'm not sure exactly how. 33 because he's 28 now. So, plus 5, 33. And if the Detroit Tigers truly want to push towards something, I don't think this American League Central is guaranteed to be the White Sox next year. Obviously, the White Sox will be favorited for the division. And obviously, the Tigers need to make other moves. But I think Erod going to Detroit is a great move for him, for the Tigers. And yeah, it sucks being a Red Sox fan that he's gone. But that also opens up the door for someone to come in and replace him for similar money, maybe less. Now, the name that I have in mind is Justin Verlander. You guys might be thinking, whoa, wait a second. Didn't he used to play for the Astros? And didn't he used to play for the Tigers? You're absolutely correct. He is more than 18 months removed from Tommy John surgery, which he had at the end of 2019, I believe, or in 2019. He's entering his age 39 season. Now, keep in mind, he just had Tommy John surgery, so he's got a brand new elbow. So, before I go any further with Justin Verlander, I must add that with Erod signing with the Detroit Tigers after being extended the qualifying offer, the Red Sox will receive a compensation draft pick that will be at the end of the second round. So they will get an additional draft pick, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all those rounds. But since they offered Erod the qualifying offer and signed somewhere else, Red Sox will get a compensation pick at the end of the second round before the third round. The Astros extended a qualifying offer to Justin Verlander as well. So the Red Sox, if they were to sign Verlander, would have to forfeit a draft pick at the end of the second round, which the Tigers are doing as well. But the Tigers, their draft pick, middle of the pack, you have all the young prospects you could use. Let's actually try to make a little bit of noise here because they see an opening in the American League Central and maybe even the American League in general. Those decisions are meant to be made by someone in the organization and that has a higher payroll than I do. But if the Red Sox were to offer Verlander a contract and he signs with the Red Sox would forfeit a draft pick at the end of the second round, which would be a late draft pick. It would be 30 teams, 28th, I believe, because the Braves would have 30th, Dodgers 31. No, I'm sorry. Braves 30th, Astros 29, Dodgers 28, so the Red Sox 27, excuse me. Who cares? Because you're going to get another pick right after the end of the second round. So if you kind of think of it, it's almost like in football where you're trading back in the draft, which, you're not. But that's kind of what it's going to feel like. You'll lose the 27th pick in the second round, but you're going to gain a compensation pick at the end of the second round. So it would be totally worth it to lose that second round draft pick for Justin Verlander, because think of this rotation. A full year of Chris Sale being healthy post Tommy John surgery himself. Nathan Eovaldi, had a killer season this year. Hopefully he can have another one. People love him here in Boston. Tanner Houck, young up-and-coming stud pitcher for the Sox. Kind of reminds me of a right-handed Chris Sale. Then you throw in Justin Verlander on top of that. That just sounds good. That gives you 3 legitimate aces, Sale, Verlander, Eovaldi. A up-and-coming stud in Houck. And then you have Nick Pivetta, at the back end of your rotation, who performed very well this season and this postseason. You have Sale, Eovaldi, and Verlander. At least Sale and Verlander are legitimate aces, 1 and 2. Eovaldi can bounce between 1, but he's more of a 2 or 3 guy. You got Houck and Pivetta at your 4 and your 5. The mold of that rotation, I absolutely love. Because I don't want Nick Pivetta being my number 2 starting pitcher, or Houck being my number 2 starting pitcher. If this team can have 2 legitimate aces on their team, then the rest of the rotation can fall into place. Because Erod, when he was here, he was probably a number 3 pitcher, right? Maybe a 2. Maybe like in 2019 he was a 2. But more so he's a number 3. But he had to be our number 1 or number 2 sometimes. And that just shakes the entire rotation up, where your number 4 and 5 bounce up to your 2 and 3, and then someone's got to fill in at the 4 and 5 spot. It just kind of messes things all sideways. But I honestly think you'd be able to bring in Verlander. Listen, he's 39 years old. I don't know what kind of money he's going to want. Yeah, he's already been paid. 39, he's probably looking for another contract. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Obviously, the qualifying offer for Erod would have been $18.4 million. I would absolutely have zero problem giving that same amount of money, or similar, very similar, to Justin Verlander for 1 year. Maybe a second-year team option, but that would probably kind of scare him away, a team option, especially entering a age 40 season if he wishes to pitch another season. So that's really the only thing baseball that I have to talk about right now. Erod to the Tigers. Rumors that Verlander could be coming to Boston. Now, I don't want to say that it's a high possibility, but it would be a really cool thing if he does, because, like I said, Sale, Verlander, Eovaldi, Houck, Pivetta. That sounds like a really, really good rotation, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, like I said. Comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or reach out to me on social media at Murph's Cardtown. Your opinion. Did you want Erod back? Did you want him to leave? Do you even want Verlander? How much would you pay for Verlander? Does Verlander make sense here in Boston? Because you've heard my opinion. You've heard my thoughts about it. I love the idea of Verlander. I'm sad to see Erod go. But I'm sure there's people out there that wanted Erod to go and don't want Verlander here in Boston. So let's get the community going and let's hear some thoughts. And as you guys are typing your thoughts, opinions, whether it's in the YouTube comments or at me on social media, let's gear over to Patriots football. Where do I even begin? I have no idea. Let me get some water to stay hydrated. But where do we begin with this team? 45-7. Blowout. Absolutely uncorked the Cleveland Browns. Listen, I predicted the Pats to win. I did not predict a 45-7 blowout. Absolutely not. The Patriots were clicking every which way possible, and I was all for it. Browns were at the goal line, 4th and goal. They went for it. They got a touchdown. You're down 7-0. Okay, cool. That happens. Patriots march right back, score a touchdown themselves. 7-7. Love to see that. And then from there, it was just all Patriots. 17 points in the second, 7 in the third, 14 in the fourth, total of 45. And that one touchdown on the Browns' first drive of the game, on 4th and goal of all things, was their only points, only score of the day. Mac Jones, 19 for 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Ramondre Stevenson getting the spot start for Damian Harris, out with a concussion. 20 carries, 100 yards, 5.0 yards average, 2 touchdowns. Kendrick Bourne chipped in, 3 carries, 43 yards. Bolden, 3 for 32. J.J. Taylor, 6 for 11. Yeah. Kendrick Bourne receiving, 4 receptions, 98 yards, a touchdown. Myers, 4 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. His first receiving touchdown of his career. Congratulations, Youngblood. Hopefully it is the first of many. And on a side note, it was freaking awesome to see the entire Patriots team, just about the entire Patriots team, run to the end zone after Jacoby Myers caught the ball with like this 5-7 yard line and then run in for a touchdown. They all knew it was his first touchdown, and they celebrated with him. Oh, that was such a cool moment. That shows me a lot of team camaraderie, a lot of good team chemistry. They're gelling together. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. I just do want to run over the Patriots game, of course, and talk about that. Hunter Henry, 4 receptions, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. N'Keal Harry, 1 reception, 26 yards. Aguilar, 2 for 21. And Ramondre Stevenson, 4 for 14. Kyle Duggar with the lone interception of the day. And everyone else, defense played well, obviously only giving up 7 points. Can you not complain about this kind of a game? I even went into it saying that the Browns are in a must-win spot themselves. I'm going to quickly refer to the AFC playoff picture because the Steelers tied yesterday against the Browns. So that was kind of like a lucky little win for the Browns because obviously with the tie, the Steelers are still 5-3 and not 6-3. Browns sit at 5-5, Bengals 5-4, Ravens 6-3, Pittsburgh 5-3-1. That AFC North division is a close one. It is tight. It's still anyone's division. Ravens are probably the favorited out of the group, but clearly Pittsburgh is playing well. And if the Browns were able to win that game, go up to 6-4 as well, they would be on top of Pittsburgh, and they would be right behind Baltimore. This conference, as I keep saying, week in and week out, is close. It is tight. You know, the Patriots are currently the 6th seed right now at 6-4. If they lost and went 5-5, they would be out. Vegas, who just lost to Kansas City last night, they're 5-4. They're 1 game out. The Chargers, 5-4. They're in. The Chiefs are now 6-4. They lead the AFC West. Anyone's race right now. The Buffalo Bills, 6-3. New England Patriots, 6-4. The Patriots are 1 win away from taking control of the AFC East division. Did anyone expect that to be a possibility this year? Listen, I know there's a ton of people out there that said the Patriots aren't a playoff team. I know there are a ton of people out there that said they're a wild card team. They'll compete in the division, but they're not going to win it. Buffalo Bills, they're the team to beat. Buffalo Bills, perennial Super Bowl contender. All that may be still true. But the way I'm looking at it right now is that week, was it 13? I don't even know what week it is. I don't know. It's like in December, the first week in December, is going to be a crucial matchup the way things are going. Obviously, a lot still needs to happen for that to even become a scenario. Patriots have the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday. The Bills have the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. Well, at least I'm assuming it's a Sunday game, right? A lot's going to change. A lot can change. A lot probably will change. But every win and every loss, not just for the Patriots, not just for the Bills, not just for the Browns, for the entire AFC, besides maybe the Dolphins, Jets, Jags, and Houston Texans, are all important. The Broncos are 5-5, but they are still in it. They are still in it. Record-wise, they are half a game out. Yeah. These are the teams that are currently outside of the playoff picture, and here are their according records. Vegas Raiders 5-4, Bengals 5-4, Colts 5-5, Browns 5-5, Broncos 5-5. Those are all the teams that are currently out. Here are the teams that are currently in. Titans 8-2, Bills 6-3, Ravens 6-3, Chiefs 6-4, Steelers 5-3-1, Patriots 6-4, Chargers 5-4. Imagine if the Patriots lost that Chargers game and the Chargers won. Chargers would be 6-4. Chargers would be the division leader, and the Chiefs would be out. Patriots would be 5-5, out of the playoff picture. It's a long season, yes, but when all of these teams are good, when you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams competing for 7 spots, it's close, it's tight, it's tough. Yes, it helps that there's an extra wildcard team in the format now instead of the traditional 6 that we've been used to for years and decades. Obviously, the 7th wildcard was a thing that introduced last year, but obviously it's something that we need to still be adjusted to moving forward, along with the 17-game regular season. And like I mentioned before, I originally did not like the 7th playoff team because I don't want mediocre or mediocrity in the playoffs. But it sure as hell is growing on me, and it's definitely making for an interesting development. And not just the AFC and the NFC as well, but I could really care less about the NFC right now. 5-4 Chargers are the 7th seed. Are they a playoff team, yes or no? Maybe a record aside, is that team, the Los Angeles Chargers of 2021, a playoff team? Yes or no? I'd say yes. And in the old format where there was just 6 teams, they're currently out. I will look at the NFC for this little thing. Carolina Panthers are 5-5 right now. Excluding the record, looking at their team, are they a playoff team? No. So the 7th seed is not going to be perfect year in and year out. It's just not. The Minnesota Vikings, they're right behind them. They're technically the 8th seed, if there was such a thing. Record aside, being 4-5, are the Minnesota Vikings, the way their roster is constructed, a playoff team? Well, in years past, yes. And people had expectations this year. Would I consider them a playoff team? Maybe. I mean, I don't like their defense, but their offense is pretty good. So I guess I would say yes, but I'm not convinced on it. But you see how I was on it. I mean, there's been countless seasons where the Steelers have been 8-8, 9-7, and would have been the 7th seed in the playoffs. And I didn't think we'd need that mediocrity. But when the conference has 12 good teams in the AFC, the 7th seed makes it all the much more delicious. It does. The Bengals are 5-4 right now. They're the team behind the Vegas Raiders. Are they a playoff team? I'm going to say no, but earlier on they were playing like it. They have the potential. I think their defense is a year too early, but I love that offense. Would I mind seeing them in the playoffs? No. I kind of throw them in like a half a peg below the Chargers, I would say. Colts, are they a playoff team at 5-5? They got a good roster. I don't know if they're a playoff team. Browns, 5-5. I think their roster is a playoff team roster. But overall, they're not. And the same thing with the Broncos, 5-5. Are they a playoff team? No. And then I think I skipped the Raiders. 5-4. Are they a playoff team? Roster-wise, no. But they're right on the cusp. Listen, I can't control who's going to get into the playoffs right now. I can't control that, obviously. But when you have 12 teams butting for 7 spots and the playoff picture is this good, yeah, there's going to be some mediocrity. Yeah, there's going to be some half-decent teams that probably slip in. But at least it makes the season more fun. It's not just a 2-team race. It's not just, 8 teams that are all sucking and buying for the number 1 overall pick. Teams are actually being competitive. They're good. They're playing day in and day out. And it makes the season, over the course of now 17 games, much more interesting to watch. Instead of watching the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets week 11 and be like, oh, this trash bag of a game. Dolphins are 3-7, yes. But they're not that far out from the playoff picture. They're like 3 games out. Yeah, that's a lot. But they're not that far out, guys. I'm not going to go into it, but just something to consider. So with the Patriots game being on Thursday, obviously I cannot talk and preview the game for Friday's episode with the game being on Sunday, with now the game being on Thursday. I'm going to talk about it today. But before I do talk about it today, I do kind of want to talk about something in Patriots lore, Patriots history. I want to reflect on Patriots seasons, years past, and this year's Patriots team. What may that be? When Tom Brady took over in 2001 as a starting quarterback, people had no idea who this guy was. 6th round pick, backup. Obviously we had the franchise quarterback in Drew Bledsoe. Why was Brady even here? Just to be a backup, I guess. Can we just win this game? I mean, we just lost our, star quarterback. Can we just at least win this damn game? Kind of a thing. And obviously you have no idea that, Tom Brady is going to win 6 Super Bowls for your franchise, obviously a 7th in his career with the Bucs. But when Tom Brady first took the field in 2001, you had no idea what you were getting yourself into. No idea. At that very time, the Patriots were 0-1. They would go on to lose that game and move to 0-2. Brady would get his first start against the Indianapolis Colts, probably the top team in the conference at that time. And they won. They would lose to Miami the following week, going to 1-3. Does 1-3 sound familiar? Does 1-3 sound familiar? Because last time I checked, the Patriots were 1-3 after 4 games this year. Week 5, this is all in the 2001 season. Week 5 and 6, they would win against the San Diego Chargers and then again at the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, the Indianapolis Colts are part of the AFC East at that time. That's why you played 2 games against them. Then they would go out to Denver and lose. They would go to Atlanta and win, host Buffalo and win. And then week 10, which everyone remembers is probably one of the best losses in Patriots history, was week 10 against the St. Louis Rams, where you were able to dance with them. You were able to dance with them. Yeah, you lost 24-17. Okay, fine. Not the greatest game. But you were lost by 1 possession. 1 possession. And after that moment, you won the rest of the season. The rest of the season you won. Does anything like that sound familiar? Anything in there sound familiar? 1-3 does. Dancing with one of the best teams in the league. Losing, but dancing with them. Winning a statement game against the Indianapolis Colts. This team in 2021 reminds me a lot of the 2001 team. Now wait. Pause. I'm not going to say that the 2021 Patriots will turn into the 2001 Patriots. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that this 2021 team will win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. Just look at it from the season itself. Obviously, what happened in the playoffs in 2001 and what could happen if the Patriots were to make the playoffs in 2021 are completely unknown if there will be any correlation at all. Okay? For the sake of this, I don't even want to talk about the 2001 Super Bowl. I don't even want to talk about the 2001 playoffs for the sake of this. I want to look at this in a wholesome, minimalistic perspective. You have, in 2021, you have a rookie quarterback. Now, in 2001, Tom Brady was in his second year, but he played, 2 snaps? In 2020, he played one game. He had 3 passing attempts, completing one of them for 6 yards in 2000. So for the sake of this, can we please call Brady a rookie in 2001? Just for the sake of damn argument, because he kind of was. Now, I understand that the year behind Bledsoe in 2000, watching him and stuff like that, practicing, being the scout team quarterback is fantastic experience. I am not going to exclude that. But just for the simplicity of this, let's just call Brady a rookie in 2001. Okay? Brady, not starting the season as a quarterback like Mac Jones did, but Tom Brady did take over in week 2. Now, obviously, when Bledsoe got healthy and came back from his injury, Bill Belichick announced that Tom Brady was going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season, and so he was. So, 2001, Brady started for the rest of the season after, week 2. Mac Jones started for the whole season starting week 1. Patriots, after 4 weeks, were 1-3. Patriots in 2021, after 4 weeks, 1-3. Okay, got a nice good win against the Colts in 2001. Can't really say that the Jets in week 2 was a nice win because they're the Jets. But week 5, a long, hard-fought battle against the San Diego Chargers. Moving to 2-3. I guess the game against the Texans, long, hard-fought battle. You moved to 2-3. Congratulations, I guess. The Patriots beat the Indianapolis Colts in week 6. Week 6 of 2021, you lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Both good teams, hard-fought battle. Were able to prove yourself in 2021 that you can dance with one of the best teams in the NFL, which the Cowboys are. So I'm not going to do this for every single week and every single game because obviously I'm going to run out of weeks in 2021 that the Patriots have played a game in. And I'm also going to, it's not going to be the identical win-loss, right? Week 10, Patriots were 5-5 in 2001. They showed you some hope that they could be a playoff team, that they can dance with the best team in the NFL, which was the St. Louis Rams at that time. Yes, in 2001, they rattle off a massive win streak. After the Patriots lost to the Dallas Cowboys, they have currently rattled off a massive win streak of their own, winning against the Jets, at the Chargers, at the Panthers, and against the Browns. 4 straight wins. Now, obviously, I'm hoping Thursday they can win against the Falcons, and that'll be a great 5-game winning streak. And then, obviously, the Titans, let's get them down the line. There was so much uncertainty in 2001. So many question marks. Yeah, you had a good defense. You had a good franchise starting quarterback in Drew Bledsoe, but he's gone. Now you have this rookie, essentially, replacing him. In 2021, you're projected to have a fantastic defense. A great defense. Dante Hightower's back. Stephon Gilmore was supposed to be here, but now he's out. You still have J.C. Jackson, though. Jalen Mills is brought in. Matthew Judon's brought in. Christian Barmore, who is a fantastic nose tackle this year. Chase Winovich, even though he's been up and down this year. You have a lot of good pieces. David Godchow even. Jawan Bentley. Devin McCourty still back there. Kyle Duggar expected to take a huge step in year 2. A lot of good things going on in your defense in 2021. And you had a lot of great things going on in your defense in 2001. So the defenses, now I'm not going to compare the 2021 to the 2001 defense. I'm not going to do that. But you can see some similarities. 2001, your offense, question marks. You had no idea what kind of offense you were going to have. You had an up and down offense that struggled to score some points sometimes, but then again, you also had an offense that was able to light up the scoreboard. I mean, look, in week 2, that game you lost against the Jets, you lost 10-3. Then you beat the Colts 44-13. Then you lost to the Dolphins 30-10. But then your offense would cook it up. 38 points, 20, 24, 21, 17, 34, 17, 27, 12, 20. Okay, maybe not exactly cook it up. So there was good days and bad days, right? 38 points, 24 points, 34 points, 27 points. Nice stuff. But your defense, though, was the one that really kept you in those games. Week 6, Indianapolis Colts. Where is it? 17 points. Broncos 31, the one you lost. 10 points, 11 points, 24 points to the Rams that you lost. 17 points, 16 points, 16 points, 9 points, 13 points in week 15. And then 6 points in week 17 after the bye. Because 2001, the attack on the Twin Towers kind of messed up the season a little bit. The bye week was all the way at week 16. So, defense helped you and carried you that year while Tom Brady was able to grow and develop as a quarterback in this league. And that was honestly what was projected in 2021 for Mac Jones and the Patriots. You were going to have a top 5 defense that was going to be able to do this and do that, win you some games, make some stops against some good teams, while Mac Jones grows and develops and executes simple offense to put your team in positions to win the game. I see a lot of 2001 in 2021. I do. So far, in 2021, the Patriots have allowed 177 points to the opposing team. That is second in the league, only behind the Buffalo Bills with 135. The Bills have given up 42 less points to the opposing team. But still, the Patriots are second with 177 total points. The Patriots are also second in points per game given up. Average points per game, 17.7. Again, first place goes to Buffalo Bills, giving up an average of 15. Patriots, 17.7. That's second place. Total yards per game. The Patriots are 6th at 328. Total yards per game, passing and rushing. The Bills, again, lead that one, 274.1 yards per game. And then like rushing yards, average rushing yards, average passing yards. The Patriots were like all, between like 7 and like 12th, I think. I don't know. I didn't want to do the math. But still, when you're second in total points and points per game, and then 6th in total yards or yards per game, that is a damn good defense. That is a damn good defense. A defense that needs to be reckoned with. Like I said, I'm not going to compare 2001 to 2021 Patriots defense. I'm not going to do it. But there are similarities to not only the defenses, but the offensive situation and how the season has portrayed. Like I said at the beginning of the segment, I'm not going to compare the events of 2001 to the potential foreseen events of 2021. There's just a lot of similarities, a lot of hope, high expectations. There are a lot of doubts, and a ton of mixed feelings in between. Those are both the same emotions felt in 2001 that we are feeling in 2021. No one even thought the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl at 5-5 after losing to the Rams in Week 10. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Do people think, you could even say before the Browns game or even after the Browns game, because the Patriots are 6-4, obviously one game better than they were in 2001. But okay, let's just call it, after 10 games, they're 6-4. Does anybody think the Patriots can win the Super Bowl? I'm still going to say no. I don't think they will, because I think the Titans are better, the Bills are better, the Ravens are better. Punch for punch, the Chiefs are probably better, even though the defense is atrocious and they can't run the ball. And like I said, I don't even want to look at the NFC because you can't really control that. At least here in your conference, you can control it a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and say the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl in 2021. I'm not saying that. But you have to admit and realize that there are tons of similarities to both seasons, 2001 and 2021, and that the potential for greatness is there with this team this year, with this defense this year, this offense this year, and Mac Jones this year, and all of those things moving forward as well. No one expected Tom Brady to win a Super Bowl in 2001. Even after his first win against the Colts, even after winning 6 in a row or whatever it was to finish the season 11-5, no one expected him to still do it. People probably expected the Raiders to either win, the Steelers to either win, but definitely the Rams to win, all in 2001. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. This Patriots team has potential. Maybe not this year. Maybe not next year. But this team has potential with Mac Jones. And for people that have said Mac Jones sucks over the course of this year, at any point this year, deserve to give everybody who supported Mac Jones an apology. Because Mac Jones is not only playing the best football out of the 5 rookie quarterbacks from this year's class, he is playing better than a lot of veterans. He has significantly improved since week 1, since week 4, since week 7. His touchdown to interception ratio is starting to get larger. I think 13 touchdowns to now 7 interceptions. So it's not just 1 and 1. It's almost 2 to 1. I'll take it. He's growing. He is developing. He is a rookie quarterback. He is going to make mistakes. He is going to mess up. He will have his moments where he shines and thrives. I've said this countless times. Week in and week out, he has put you in position to win a lot of football games. The exception of maybe the Saints game. Even though I still think that pick 6 that Jonnu Smith dropped was the immense game changer where the Patriots could have came back. But besides the point. Buccaneers was in the position. Dolphins. I've said this a million times. I'm going to have to say it again. Harris isn't fumble. Patriots are in scoring position. They're in the red zone. Buccaneers. If Nick Folk was able to hit that field goal, which obviously 56-yarder in the rain, very tough. I'm not holding it against him. I'm just saying, if he hits that field goal, that are winning, can't control what the Bucs and Brady would have done, but I'm just saying you would have been winning 20-19. The Cowboys game, you lost 35-29 in overtime. Your defense failed you that game, and you've won 4 straight. Mac Jones is good. Mac Jones is one of the many reasons you are 6-4 right now. Keep in mind, you started the season 1-3. You started this season 1-3. And now look at you. 6-4. Out of the last 6 games, you've won 5 of them. This team is sneaky, dangerous, and has a lot of upside and cannot be taken lightly in this AFC picture. Like I said 20 minutes ago or whatever, they are 1 game behind the Buffalo Bills for the lead in the AFC East. Not going to say they're going to win the division, but I'm just saying they're right there. And not many people expected it, and no Mac Jones haters expected it. And all you guys can go pound some fucking sand. There you go. There you have it. Quick recap of the NFL Week 10 slate. Obviously, as we knew, Dolphins defeated the Ravens 22-10. The Titans beat the Saints 23-21. Bills destroyed the Jets 45-17. Lions and Steelers tied yesterday in Pittsburgh. What a damn joke the Steelers are. Colts defeated the Jaguars 23-17. The Washington football team beat the Buccaneers 29-19. What a fantastic game that was to watch. Heartbreaking to see Brady lose, though. Patriots beat the Browns 45-7, as we know. Colts plucked and wrung the necks of the Falcons 43-3. Hopefully that will have a little carryover going into the Thursday night football game between the Patriots and the Falcons, which I will break down in a few moments. Panthers beat down the Cardinals 34-10. Are the Cardinals not legit anymore? Questions that need answers. Vikings beat the Chargers 27-20. Packers shut out the Seahawks 17-0. Eagles over the Broncos in Denver 30-13. And Chiefs beat the Raiders 41-14 last night in Vegas. We do have the Rams against the 49ers tonight in San Francisco for Monday Night Football. With all that being said, let's jump to the Patriots and Falcons game preview. What can we expect from this game? What are we hoping for in this? Well, obviously we're hoping for a damn win. No shit, Murph. Seriously, what are we hoping for in this game? Short week. You have 4 days. You have today. I guess you have the rest of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to prepare. And then obviously Thursday. Players hate Thursday night football because of the small turnover, can't recover, can't get healthy, practice, all that good stuff. I get it. I like it because it gives me something to watch on Thursday night. But seriously, what should we expect? Patriots are going into this game 6-point road favorites against the Falcons. Now, do we remember the exercise that I did a few weeks ago? Do we remember this exercise where I think we were 1-3 at the time, and I was telling you, no, we were 2-5, 2-4. I'm sorry, because we just beat the Texans at that time. Remember when I made that Mac Jones sucks YouTube video? I don't know if you guys have watched it. If you haven't, definitely go check it out because I definitely tick off a lot of people. And a lot of people are trying to tell me that Cam Newton, the Patriots would be much better off with Cam Newton, which I don't think is anywhere true. Even though it's good to see him back with Carolina, though. It's good to see him still playing. Patriots were 2-5, and I made this Mac Jones sucks video. And in that video, I took a list of the upcoming games, Patriots against, at the time, the Dallas Cowboys, the Jets, the Chargers, so on and so forth. And I took what Vegas had the game spread at. And whatever the spread was at, if they were favored, I'd give them a win. If they weren't favored, I'd give them a loss. So, for example, the Patriots were minus 1.5 point favorites against Dallas in Week 6. So I chalked that up as a win. In Week 7, they were 6.5 point favorites, and I chalked that up as a win. Against the Chargers, they were negative 2.5 underdogs, so I counted that as a loss. You get the picture, right? I did that whole exercise for the remaining schedule, and I had after that little segment, the Patriots were 6-11, with losses against the Chargers, Panthers, Browns, Falcons, Bills, Colts, Bills again, Dolphins. Purely based off of what Vegas had the spread at. 6-11. Well, they have 6 wins now, so Vegas can go pound. Well, I guess they can't because they could still finish 6-11 mathematically. Besides the point, I digress. The Atlanta Falcons, that game was chalked up as a loss. That Week 11 Thursday Night Football game was chalked up as a loss because the Falcons were 1.5 point favorites in that game. The Patriots, are now 6-point road favorites. Vegas, go pound some sand, pal. They are 6.5, 6-point favorites, road favorites for Thursday Night Football. Because the Patriots are going in the north direction and the Falcons are kind of going like northeast or something. I mean, they're not going down, but they're not really going up. Patriots need to win this game. Crucial, crucial, crucial game. Yes, I've said this a few times now. Patriots must win this game. Must win this game. Must win, must win. Well, because it kind of is at this point when you have 12 teams in the conference playing so well. You're one game behind the Bills. Falcons kind of suck, but not really. But they're not really good. No, the weird little limbo purgatory team. And you got the Titans the following week, which is the best team in the conference right now. So, if you can win this game, you'll have 10 days to rest and prepare for the Titans, where you can give them your best. I said, the upcoming 4 games, Browns, Falcons, Titans, Bills, win 3 of them. Okay, I would prefer them. If they're going to lose one, I'd prefer it to be against the Titans, and you can win that Bills game so you can have the tiebreaker. So this game is a must-win, because if you lose this game, then you got to win the next 2, and that's going to be really tough, both the Titans and the Bills. This game against the Falcons, no Calvin Ridley, obviously dealing with mental health issues. Get better, bro. Hope to see you back on the field soon. Obviously, I don't expect you on Thursday, but soon in the season, if you were to return for the season. But definitely take care of your own first. But the Patriots are a better team than the Falcons in every which way. Their running game, obviously when healthy, with Harris healthy, is better. Now, obviously, is Harris going to play on Thursday? I don't know. The whole thing with the concussion took me 3 months to get over a concussion. I don't know if it'll take him 13 days. But the running game, Bolden's came on big time. He's not just a special teamer anymore. He's an actual weapon for us, which, obviously I was a little wrong about. I'll admit it. I was wrong about Brandon Bolden. I still don't think he is good long term. But I guess for this year, sure. Stevenson's come on. J.J. Taylor's not there yet. Damian Harris, obviously a great running back. Much better than, anything that the Falcons can throw at you. Obviously, they have Cordell Patterson, who's playing 17 positions this year. The passing game, okay. I mean, the Falcons have Kyle Pitts, Russell Gage. No Julio, no Calvin. Patriots, no, not that much better, but they at least have, Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. I think the weapons that the Patriots have at their disposal is better. And then you look at the defense. Well, that Falcons defense sucks. And the Patriots defense, which we already talked about, is one of the best defenses. Let's just call it a top 5 defense. Second in points. Sixth in total points. No, what was it? Second in total points. Second in points per game. Sixth in total yards per game. And then between 6 and 12 between rushing yards per game, passing yards per game, all that good stuff. So just call it a top 5 defense for the sake of argument, right? It's top 7 defense. I don't care, whatever you want to call it. Much better than the Falcons defense. They're a crapback defense. Let's just be honest. And then you look at the quarterback play. Mac Jones, I believe, is trending very up. Matt Ryan's not trending down, but he's not trending up either. It's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. Obviously in Atlanta will have home field advantage. Short week. It'll be a true test for Mac Jones to see how he can play on short rest, what the game plan will be for a rookie quarterback on a short week coming from Josh McDaniels in the offensive perspective. Will it be run heavy? Will it be pass heavy? Are you going to try to take advantage of that Atlanta Falcons secondary? What is Damian Harris' health going to be? Will Stevenson be able to carry the load full time for another week? How is the offensive line going to hold up and protect Mac Jones on a short week? What is the defense going to do? How are they going to stop Kyle Pitts? And how are they going to put pressure on Matt Ryan? There's a ton of questions. Do not get me wrong. And this is no layup. I think a 6-point road favorite, the Patriots can cover, but I'm not feeling entirely confident in it. I still think it's going to be a good game. Thursday night football games on the road can be tricky sometimes. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win this game because I do believe they are the superior team here. But I'm not going to tell you that the Patriots are going to win 45-7 like they did on Sunday. But then again, I thought it was going to be a close game on Sunday, but they ended up winning 45-7. Here are my 3 keys for this game, or 3 things I'm looking for. Mac Jones. How is he going to play on short rest? Condensed week, short week. Is the playbook going to be condensed? Are they going to try some new things? Mac Jones and his, he just, played on Sunday. Yeah, he was able to have, the fourth quarter off, which helps. But I want to see how he kind of, 4 days is able to come back, travel, hostile environment, and go out and play. I want to see how that plays out. Number 2, defense. If the defense can stop Kyle Pitts in any passing attack, period, by getting pressure to Matt Ryan, this game should be a piece of cake. It should be. Because you don't have Julio Jones to worry about. You don't have Calvin Ridley to worry about. In the Super Bowl, they had Mohamed Sanu. A few years ago when they played, actually the year after the Super Bowl, they had Russell Gage, I believe, at that point still. So, they've had weapons over the years. But not this year. Yeah, they have Cordell Patterson. Russell Gage is nice. Olamide Zaccheaus. He's a boomer bust in fantasy. He'll catch a 60-yard touchdown twice a year, and that's it. Right? Kyle Pitts, deadly weapon. You know how I feel about Kyle Pitts. I absolutely love Kyle Pitts. He's going to be a top 5 top 3 tight end in this league very, very soon. So if the Patriots can stop the few weapons, obviously Pitts and Cordell Patterson, probably the two that you need to be most concerned about, all while getting pressure to Matt Ryan, I think you should be able to, have much success. Because don't forget, the Falcons are also on short rest as well. They are. And they just got their ass handed to them. 43-3 to the Cowboys. Who, by the way, you were able to dance with in week 6. So there are a lot of factors for the Patriots, but also for the Falcons as well. And we need to keep that in mind. And then my third key to the game, the third thing that I'm looking for, is the coaching matchup. Bill Belichick is a walking coaching mismatch. He can overpower the opposing coaching staff almost every single week. He did it against the Browns this past week, and it showed. Can he do it this week against the Falcons? Because if he's able to, then it'll make this short week Thursday night game a little bit easier for the Patriots, because Bill Belichick, who's been here a million times, knows how to dice things up and draw things up, take someone out, or take the opposing player's best offensive player out, the opposing team's best defensive player out, and do all of that. And if Belichick can remove Cordell Patterson from the game, X's and O's wise, or Kyle Pitts, what are the Falcons going to be able to do? How are the Falcons coaching staff going to be able to overcome that against this Patriots defense, who's proven to be top 5, 6, 7, whatever the hell you want to call it? I think Bill Belichick over the entire Falcons coaching staff is something to keep an eye on. Sunday, Josh McDaniels played a fantastic game. He coached up a fantastic scheme. He was destroying. He was taking advantage of the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator. I don't even know who it is in the coaching staff over there. 45-7. Absolute decimated the Browns defense. And obviously on the defensive side of the ball as well, the Patriots, had their ways. Patriots have all the momentum going into this game. They won 45-7. The Falcons have no momentum going into this game, losing 43-3. Two teams trending, or I guess record-wise, similar directions, because the Falcons are... where are the Falcons? Falcons are 4-5. They're the second team out of the playoff picture in the NFC. Meanwhile, the Patriots are the 6th seed in the AFC. So I'm not going to say that there's two teams completely trending in opposite directions. Based off of Week 10, yes, they're trending in opposite directions. But generally speaking, the Falcons are kind of right there, just behind the Saints, who are struggling now without Jameis Winston. The Panthers are struggling a little bit. The Vikings are right in front of them. So the Falcons they're not a dog shit team. They're not 3-6, but they're definitely not good. But like I said, they're not two teams trending in opposite directions. But that is everything that I have to talk about in today's episode. A little bit of Red Sox, Eduardo Rodriguez news to start the episode, and then obviously a ton of Patriots and football chatter. I will go over Week 11 matchups and predictions on Friday's episode. I just wanted to make sure that I cover the Patriots today. I usually don't cover Thursday Night Football, but with the Patriots playing on Thursday, I was like, let me make sure I discuss this game, because obviously I don't want to sit here on Friday, talk about the game when the game already happened. I want to talk about the game on Friday for what the game was. But that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and enjoying on audio-only platforms. I really appreciate it. I've surpassed 5,000 downloads here on Murph's Boston Sports Talk, so I really appreciate every single download, every single person listening, and every single person enjoying this podcast. 105 episodes in, and I cannot do it without any of you guys, so I thank you so much. And those that are watching on YouTube, I really appreciate you liking the video, commenting on the video, and subscribing to the channel as well, because all that is fantastic support that I immensely, immensely appreciate. But like I said, that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. I cannot wait for the Patriots game. I can't wait to hear more breaking Red Sox news as the offseason kind of transpires a little bit. There could be a work stoppage in baseball, which we can discuss later on in time. Bruins, Celtics, I didn't get to today for obvious reasons, but I'll try to get to them in Friday's episode. But that is going to do it for today. That is going to do it for this episode. I cannot wait to see you on Friday's episode. But between now and then, have a fantastic week. Enjoy this cold weather if you're weird like that, and enjoy the cold weather. I wish it was 85 degrees out, but that's just me. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. But between now and then, you guys know that I love you, and I will always see you.